her calling calling Doc to come and get him at certain times, and that things are going wrong, and if he doesn't come back into Houston to get him, that he's gonna go back again. He's gonna revert back to crime or something.
First thing I would love to know is when you're playing a real person like Doc Broadus, how different is your preparation and process compared to when you're doing something fictional?
I mean, you have a person that you're responsible for, so you're starting to learn like the real life gestures, behaviors, movements, food choices, clothing choices, all these different things that person would do. In this case, I had to look at like documentaries about him. There's some really good ones, good stuff on the net about him as well. And read about it, looked at the history, looked at the fights and when they were happening, and then slowly he starts to form himself, from all those things.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, clearly he's one of the most important figures of George Foreman's life. So how was it to play him knowing that George Foreman is involved in this project and has a hand in it?
It was great knowing that George was improving everything, because he knows more than anybody else. And you don't want to do anything that's inaccurate and stuff. And I guess playing Broadus, you worry that, you're not going to get it all right. But I didn't get anything but support from him when I talked to him briefly. And yeah.
Oh, that's great. And at least the way the movie tells it, George Foreman's mom was really not like a fan of his boxing, at least in the beginning. So as you were like researching this, did you learn anything helpful about kind of how Doc Broadus' relationship and Nancy Foreman's relationship, each played an impact on George Foreman's life?
Not really. I didn't really from just the reading I did and the stories, because they talk about her calling Doc to come and get him at certain times, and that things are going wrong, and if he doesn't come back into Houston to get him, that he's gonna go back again. He's gonna revert back to crime or something. Those kind of little stories were important for me to know, in the way I was dealing with George, and that's what the person I was relating to was his mother, or Doc Broadus was relating to George's mother, not me.
Yeah. And I gotta ask too, it's so wonderful to see you in this film. It's also wonderful to see you in Star Wars. Do you know anything about when and if you might go back to that world?
Yeah, I'm about to go back to it now.
That's my time. But again, thank you so much for the time, and you're wonderful in this movie. It's great to watch you.
Thanks.